The room was silent except for the gentle hum of the ship's life support. A faint blue glow shone from the narrow panels embedded in the ceiling, giving the cabin a soft, dreamlike look. On a small bed tucked against the bulkhead, a young technician named Leo slept deeply. He had drifted off after a long shift repairing a damaged relay in the engine bay. Exhausted and sweaty, he had peeled off everything and collapsed under the thin sheet. He rarely slept that way, but the heat in the ship's core section had followed him into his cabin. And he had not bothered to dress. He barely noticed when the ship lurched. The lights flickered, and the emergency systems came online. He did not hear the alarm that flashed silently through the corridors. He did not sense the breach in the mid-deck or the presence that slipped inside his room with the grace of a shadow. What finally woke him was something warm, something heavy, something breathing. Leo opened his eyes and froze. A figure sat on top of him, not pinning him but perched like she had landed there by accident. Her skin shimmered like polished stone touched by moonlight. Her long hair floated as if it had a life of its own, drifting in strands that glowed faintly with energy. Her eyes were bright silver and wide with surprise. She did not seem hostile. She seemed confused, startled, as if she had been thrown there by force rather than choice. Leo grabbed the thin sheet and yanked it over himself. Holding it tight, she raised both hands in a universal gesture of peace. Leo stared at her, his heart racing, unsure if he should speak "run" or hit the alarm. But she spoke first. Her voice was soft, melodic, and layered with a faint echo as if more than one tone existed inside her speech. "Do not fear. I am not your enemy." Leo swallowed hard and tried to process the situation. A moment ago he had been asleep, alone, exhausted. Now an alien woman sat on top of him in his room, looking like she had been slammed there by some force. "You fell," Leo said. Doing his best to sound calm, she nodded slowly. The corridor collapsed. The pressure imbalance pushed me. I tried to stop, but the wind took me through the open door. Leo loosened his grip on the sheet, but kept it firmly in place. "Are you hurt?" "No. Your world's air is strange but pleasant." He blinked. She looked at him like he was the unusual one. He took a breath to steady himself. "Who are you?" "My name is Mira." Her manner was composed, but her gaze flicked around the room as if she expected danger at any moment. Leo noticed the small burns on her arms, faint but real. The breach she mentioned must have been serious. Leo pointed toward the cabin floor. "Maybe you should sit there instead." Myra shifted lightly and stepped off him, touching down with unnatural grace. Her feet made no sound. She glanced at the sheet he held and then looked away politely, almost embarrassed. "I apologize. I did not mean to disturb your rest." "It's okay," Leo said, though he was still trying to understand what was happening. "I guess you didn't have a choice." "No," she said. "And now I believe your ship is in danger." That snapped him fully awake. "What happened out there?" Myra paused, as if choosing her words with care. "My patrol craft detected a rupture near your vessel. We attempted to help stabilize it. Then an unseen force struck. It was not a natural phenomenon. It was something designed to test structural limits." Leo frowned. "That meant sabotage. Someone attacked our ship." "I believe so," Myra said. Leo swung his legs out of bed, clutching the sheet around his waist. "We have to get to the command deck. You should dress first." He flushed at the calm way she said it, but she was right. He threw on his uniform in record time. Myra faced the door the entire time, giving him a respectful distance. When he finished, he nodded. "Let's move." Myra stepped beside him. Her presence felt strangely reassuring, like walking with a guardian made of light and calm strength. As they entered the corridor, the full extent of the damage became clear. Panels hung loose, Floor lights dimmed in pulsing signs of distress. A faint smell of scorched metal drifted through the hall. Leo tapped the comm panel. But it was dead. Main systems are down, he said. We need to reach central control. Mira placed a hand just above the broken panel. Energy shimmered at her fingertips for a second before fading. The disruption is deliberate, she said. Your systems were hit with an energy spike that scrambled them. How do you know all this? I have trained to sense field disruptions. It is part of my duty. Leo glanced at her. So you're military? Not in the sense you know, but yes, I serve. Her tone carried weight, responsibility. Honor. They pressed forward, stepping over fallen conduits. The farther they went, the worse the damage appeared. Leo's concern grew with every step. The ship was not only damaged, it was being watched. He felt it. Every flicker of broken light seemed too deliberate, too controlled. Then Mira stopped abruptly and raised her hand. Leo froze. What is it? Something is watching us. Leo scanned the corridor. He saw nothing. Myra turned slowly. Her hair lifted in silent warning. There. She pointed at an empty stretch of wall. The metal rippled. A drone phasing out of stealth shimmered into visibility. Its body was angular, thin and dark, with a series of red lenses that pulsed like hungry eyes. It hovered silently, charged with an energy that made Leo's skin prickle. The drone fired. Myra reacted first. A curved barrier of translucent light sprang from her hand and absorbed the blast. The air cracked with force. Leo stumbled back as heat washed over him. Myra, he shouted. What is that thing? A hunter. Not from my people. This is a different enemy. The drone fired again. The barrier flickered, but held. Myra pushed her hand forward, and the barrier expanded, knocking the drone into the wall. It clattered and twitched. Leo ran forward and grabbed a loose pipe from the floor. Before the drone recovered, he swung hard, smashing its core. Sparks flew. The drone collapsed with a sharp whine. Mira looked at him with surprise. You destroyed it with a simple tool. Leo shrugged. Humans improvise. Her expression softened, almost impressed. Yes, you do. They pushed deeper into the ship. The hunter drone was only the first. 2 more appeared in the cargo passage, moving with a predatory glide. Mira deflected their shots, and Leo found himself darting in and striking when Mira created openings. The teamwork was natural, almost instinctive. Myra shielded. Leo attacked. Together they disabled both drones. By the time they reached the central control door, the ship had grown eerily silent. The hum of power was faint. Emergency lights flickered like tired heartbeat pulses. Leo placed his hand on the panel. Locked. Mira stepped forward. Allow me. Energy surged from her palm, intertwining with the ship's panel and overriding the security lock. The heavy door slid open with a strained groan. Inside, Commander Holt lay unconscious, but breathing. A few officers were slumped at their stations, knocked out by whatever had hit the ship. No signs of struggle. No signs of violence. Just sudden loss of consciousness. Someone used a non-lethal pulse, Leo said, targeted at human brain patterns. Mira checked the consoles. Not human patterns alone. They targeted life in this room. You survived because you were isolated in your cabin. And you survived because you weren't supposed to be here. Yes. Leo restored partial power, watching screens flicker back to life. Data filled the monitors. They traced the energy spike to a point outside the ship. Myra narrowed her eyes. There, the source. Leo magnified the image. A large shadow drifted in space. Not a ship that belonged to humans. Not one Myra recognized either. Before they could analyze further, another signal burst through the ship. A message. A transmission blocked by static, but strong enough to convey intent. A voice filled the room. Test complete. The human vessel has shown unexpected resistance. Further observation required. Leo felt a chill. Mira's face hardened. This is not a simple attack, she said. This is a study. Leo clenched his fists. They used us as an experiment. Yes, but you did not break. You fought. You adapted. That is why they retreat. Leo stared through the viewport. The shadow vanished into warp space, leaving only silence behind Dot as the crew began to stir. Myra stepped closer to Leo. You protected your people with nothing but determination and the tools around you. You saved us first. Together we saved them, she said. He studied her glowing eyes. What happens now? I must return to my patrol craft. But I will report this. This enemy will not test your world again without meeting resistance. Leo nodded. If they do, humans will be ready. She gave him a look that held both respect and warmth. Yes, you will. Before she left, she paused. Leo? Yeah. When I first fell into your room, I feared you would react with panic. Instead, you reacted with caution, respect, and courage. Your kind has strengths many overlook. He smiled a little. Most people don't wake up with a glowing stranger on top of them. I think I handled it okay, to say the least. The door opened with a soft whoosh, and she stepped out. Moving with the grace of someone both powerful and gentle. Leo stood there for a moment, absorbing everything that had happened. The ship was damaged, but still alive. The crew was waking. The threat had retreated. Humanity had been tested and had not broken. He exhaled and looked out at the stars. Whatever came next, humans would face it, together.